It's time for On Point, where we speak to experts to delve deeper into some of the key issues in the spotlight right now. Today, June 17th, marks World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought. Its purpose is to raise awareness of the effects of such changes have on the planet while highlighting methods of prevention.
And with many parts of the world faced with desertification and drought, what are some things that we can do to improve the situation? Well, to find out, we have joining us Professor Chung Seoyong, Professor at the School of International Studies at Korea University. Lovely to see you again, Professor. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And well, we know the impact a prolonged drought can bring to a country, but what kind of impact can desertification have?
Well, there are several serious impacts that can be made depending on where you are located. Usually, that we cannot live in the desert. So drought and desertification means that there will be expanded the size of the desert. So basically, human beings are losing a lot of places to live. And more important in the context of Republic of Korea, we used to suffer from serious problem caused by desertification. That's the yellow dust problem. It's just happened in the China and Mongolia, but because of the wind blow from the west into the east, and then this significant natural disaster has impacted on the Korea as well. So there are significant of the problems that we can suffer from.
So, I mean, what are some of the biggest reasons then for the increased instances of desertifications that's happening right now around the world?
Well, there could be several, but the major reason can be counted because of the climate change. Because the increased temperature on the Earth can affect on every part of the Earth, especially those which are vulnerable to the drought. And then there are places where we still have desert. Actually, these areas are a lot of the affected by the climate change issues. Unless we address the climate change issues, actually desertification cannot be addressed adequately.
Then would you say that it's really a lack of regulations? I mean, why are some countries seeing more occurrences of desertification compared to other countries?
Well, as I said, there are some countries are located in a more vulnerable places. That could be one of the reasons. And the other reasons that actually human beings can control over includes the sort of the malpractice in the agricultural sector. If you actually plant, in an unsustainable way in these vulnerable places, actually you can cause more deserts as could happen. And also, as you can see even on the screen, then there are livestock. If you have too many livestock in an uncontrolled way, they're gonna eat all those small plants, which will also increase the speed of the desertification. So there are several other practices that the human beings have made.
Really surprising to know. I mean, for the first time that if animals take in too much of these plants, it also causes desertification as well. But I guess in a big picture, right, Professor? I mean, other than just making changes to our daily lives to limit the impact of climate change, which seems to be at the center of all the problems right now, what are some things that can be done to prevent or limit desertification?
Well, first of all, as I said, that there are certain things that the human beings may not be able to control, but there are certainly series of activities that we can control. First of all, as I indicated already, that we have to fix the agricultural practices. Agricultural practices must be in a sustainable way so that we can use the land, which may be adequately controlled by avoiding the desertification process. And also, there are other issues that actually Republic of Korea has done a lot with Mongolia and then China. That's planting trees. As you can see, that by planting trees, then we can avoid the desertification process to some extent. However, when we do this, we have to develop the very well considered the plants which may be adequately suitable for that specific country. Not all the same species of the plants can be grown in every area. So in terms of the selection of the species, in terms of how to plant them and how to manage them, in the end, we can also count on how much CO2s can be actually observed by planting trees That's another way that we can do. And then in recent climate change meeting, actually countries start to discuss on how to reduce greenhouse gas emissions even by doing practice in addition to do what we used to do.
I see. Well, there's definitely a lot more to think about and action to take there. And well, thank you so much for your insights today, Professor. We hope to speak to you again in the future.
Thank you.